This is Flipping the Script podcast, the soon-to-be #1 leadership podcast for purpose-driven leaders and great guest experts who give us a unique insight into what leadership looks like behind the scenes. I'm Shalia Stafford, your host, and I'm committed to helping you lead your challenges using leadership strategies to gain new perspectives, fuel your growth, and transform the way you execute on your success. Welcome back, everyone. It's Shalia here. Before we bring on our next round of guest experts, I wanted to take a few episodes to dive deeper into the conversations that shape our leadership adventure. I'm so thrilled that you're here to explore this new season as we dive into the unromanticized journey of leadership beyond the title. What is the journey of leadership beyond the title? How do we experience this journey, and who is this journey for? When you hear the word leadership, what comes to mind? Perhaps businesses, your boss, a team building presentation where there's a picture of a mountain and one team member is helping the other climb the mountain. We've all seen that one. Or maybe you think of a great book that you've read that taught you how to be a great leader by just putting your mind to it and creating action around a choice. When you think of leadership, I want you to think of an imperfectly conscious human being who is creating a story and using different strategies to drive the experience that matters most to them while having the opportunity to create an impact in the lives of people all around them. Leadership is happening right now. You're in the seat to create your story. It's raw, imperfect, vulnerable. We're all leaders, and we're all called to lead upon a mission, a vision, and objectives. But the most important vision and mission and objective that we will ever lead is our time here on earth and the story that we're creating. We're all leaders, but we don't all have access to the same leadership strategies. And now, a quick word from our sponsor. Okay, along this journey of creating a conscious impact, it's really important for me to find foods that are wholesome, that fuel our body in the best possible way. And in that journey, I got introduced to oat milk. And let me tell you, I was not too happy with some of the varieties that I was trying in the store. They didn't taste like the oat milk that I loved making at home. I had an opportunity to try Willa's oat milk at Willa's Kitchen, and let me tell you, smooth and velvety. Tasted delicious with our espresso that we make every day, and even better, it fueled my day in the way that I needed to. Let me share a little bit more about their company. Willa's was founded by two sisters who were tired of plant-based milks that were mostly made up of artificial, highly processed ingredients and loads of sugar rather than actual plants. Plus, their grandmother Willa's recipe used real organic ingredients to create a deliciously smooth oat milk, and they thought, why not bring hers to the world instead? As they started on their entrepreneurial journey, they kept learning more and more about the way plant-based milks are normally made. Heavy processing, loads of food waste, and lots of funny business, including ingredients like rapeseed, canola oil that they didn't want to be drinking or feeding their kids every day. The biggest shocker that they found was that oat milk is typically made with oat sugar, and the best parts of the oats are filtered out. That resulted in oat milk with a super sweet taste, but without all the benefits of the oats. Willa's is made with the whole entire oat, which gives it a rich, smooth taste and maintains all the oat's proteins and prebiotic fiber and makes Willa's zero food waste. And it's not just a healthier, more sustainable oat milk, it's super tasty. That's why Willa's has been highlighted in Bon Appetit not once, but 3 times. Find Willa's oat milk at willaskitchen.com. That's WILLASKITCHEN.com or on Amazon. And with the promo code LEADERSHIP to get 20% off and support the podcast. That's promo code LEADERSHIP to get 20% off. Instead of calling it leadership, I know that I could simply call it being a human being. I could call it personal development, professional development, all the things that encompass growth. But the journey that we are on requires awareness around the story that we're creating so that we can use strategies that will give flight to our stories instead of weighing them down. I want to see you take flight, and I want to see you position yourself to engage challenges that come with the journey of the raw human experience. There's so many leadership strategies out there, that are backed by research that have been tested and proven in the world of work time after time. However, sometimes this information can be washed out in corporate politics. Look, there's a lot of talk about leadership these days, and I'm going to add another perspective to this journey to help you use the same strategies that benefit the growth of teams and organizations to serve your ability to create an experience in this world in a way that is authentic to your story and in alignment with what you value most. Our stories didn't stop 5, 10, 15 years ago when we decided to graduate school and take on the next chapter of life, when we were still thinking about how are we going to get our next job, thinking about passing all of the courses that we had in college or the challenges of building upon a skill. Our stories didn't stop there. They evolved. Our environment changed. And with that evolvement comes a time to re-engage those stories, because our stories aren't over until our time is over. And even then, its impact lives on for generations to come. Leadership is a journey. It's a lifelong process of learning, failing, growing, and it's filled with the vulnerability of pain, sadness, insecurities, and every other raw emotion that we don't talk about enough. I want you to imagine this toolbox that has strategies inside that could bring more clarity around your choices and help reduce the inevitable negative impacts that we'll have while navigating our story. As we all know, we don't turn 18 and gain all the answers to the world. With each experience we have in life, we use those experiences to shape the life that we create, and we fill the gaps for the areas that we need to address that can become problems. And those problems can cause us to pay attention and perhaps heal and unlearn some narratives that no longer serve us. As humans, we evolve. Our environments change, people change, challenges arise, opportunities are presented, and we grow, or sometimes we don't. And we have to rinse, wash, and repeat until we grow with each new experience, or until the pain becomes intolerable enough and we realize that we are not in alignment, and whatever it is and wherever we are is no longer sustainable, and we are in burnout, and we have to evolve. You see, this is unique to each of your stories, to each of your operating systems, your values, your lived experiences, and the collective challenges that come with it. So here I am, coming to you with a new perspective for leadership. I want to make something clear though. I get a lot of things wrong. I have an ego, I'm biased, I'm flawed, I get triggered, and I don't always return my shopping cart to its place. And to be honest, I put junk mail back into the mailbox for my husband and kids to take in because I get so overwhelmed with the fact that we've got more junk mail and I don't even want to take it inside the house. And I offload that onto them. I'm imperfect. But for the past 13 years, I've learned a few things about leadership, not just through experiencing leadership on the spectrum of its best and what it can look like, but also at its worst. It hasn't only helped me in my professional career, it's helped me in my personal life as I overcame the boundaries of adversity and now launched into entrepreneurship. But one thing that I do know is that I'm committed to continuously learning more about my limited beliefs, my triggers, my challenges, my responsibility to re-engage that baseline of what a constructive, securely attached, conscious person would do after they've messed up. How do I repair and I resolve? How do I reduce my passive-aggressive tendencies? How do I come forward with all my insecurities? That pursuit and that journey is constantly evolving with me. And with that, I will always choose to engage with you in a constructive manner, even if it's been after I've messed up. I will always choose to be as transparent as I am aware of my transparency. I will always choose to acknowledge the raw and human experience that shapes our time here on earth, and how sometimes we don't need a motivational quote. We need to acknowledge that we have to dig back deeper into our stories and realize we need new information to match the new environment, the new chapter that we find ourselves in. And with that new chapter, we need new information to support the new experiences that we'll have in a community around us that will celebrate the courage to pursue what matters most to us while acknowledging the rawness of that journey. And now, a quick word from our sponsor. You know those days when your coffee shop is out of cold brew and your air conditioner breaks and you try to go to the beach, that there's 0 parking spots? Yeah, life can be hard. Good thing MeUndies is here to help you take a break from the hardships of the world and give yourself a soft summer. When you're cocooned in the softest and most breathable undies, loungewear, and swimwear known to humanity, all your other problems will simply melt away. Look, let's be honest. We all have to wear underwear. No judgment if you don't. I recently tried a selection of items from MeUndies, and let me tell you, their bralettes, undies, and bathing suits delivered. It was nice to have bralettes to help me get through my workouts, and I'm hoping you are enjoying bathing suits to get through these hot summer days. Not only were they incredibly soft to wear, but they were also fun. Let's face it, summer is sweaty, but your butt doesn't have to be. With MeUndies' light and breathable micro-modal fabric, you can stay comfy and cool all summer long. They have super fun seasonal prints and tons of styles to choose from, in sizes extra small through 4XL. So you can bring the beach to your butt without ever leaving your living room. If you dare to brave the heat and venture to the pool or beach, check out their new and improved swimwear styles. They're soft, stretchy, and sustainably made. Make it a soft summer with MeUndies. MeUndies has a great offer for my listeners. For any first-time purchasers, you get 15% off. If you sign up for their free-to-join membership, you can apply that 15% off to their already discounted membership prices. To get 15% off your order and 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/leadership. That's MeUndies.com/leadership. For the past 13 years, I've had the privilege to make leadership my study as a corporate sales leadership executive who led sales teams across the nation and worked with organizations to position them for growth through their greatest assets, their workforce. My responsibility was to understand how do I position people for success while also serving the corporate agenda that we had in place and understanding how to navigate my own operating system, my faults and my strengths. My experience has allowed me to take these theories and principles and research that has been backed in the leadership industry and translate them into actionable strategies that are transferable in all the areas that matter most to you. And it's not just our work, it's beyond the title. And to help you take action in alignment with your values and your story. Because look, life and our success is complex. Life is challenging. It's beautiful. It's raw. It's humorous. But the complexities of success go beyond motivational quotes, yoga sessions, and self-help books that encourage you to just do it and put your mind to it. This journey goes beyond the title, pays, and promotion, and accolades of the workforce, and into the depths of the stories that fuel who we are in the pursuit to experience life in alignment with our authentic story. And within our story is housed our operating system. All of our shared experiences that have fueled our perspectives and how we choose to engage in the world. And within that too, we have our destructive side, our toxic side. We all have a piece of that. And that will be our greatest challenge, the limited beliefs, our toxicity that will hinder some of our success. Using emotional intelligence and self-awareness and conflict management, we could learn how to peel back those layers and pressure test our stories and our values so that we can be in alignment and have sustainability in our success. That's what the journey of leadership beyond the title looks like. It's creating the experience that we want and then aligning the strategies that will help get us there. And then we have to pressure test those strategies so that we can evolve our stories in alignment. Many of us have been introduced to leadership through our careers, and when integrated in a holistic and a constructive manner, leadership has the power to put a human on the moon and to launch some of the greatest advancements of our time. Leadership helps to also drive the strategic mission of organizations around the world, their story. When they define their story, they create the structures, the systems, the boundaries, the cultures, and the key performance indicators that are going to allow them to experience their story in action. And that's where the workforce comes in to help execute on that. Some of the best companies have a clear picture of how to get there. And then you come into the story and you experience leadership in a variety of different ways. But this journey is for you. You work hard. You've earned your place in the workforce. However, the context of our lives isn't simply our work, it's beyond the title. What's driving conscious professionals isn't the KPIs at work, it's the awareness around our stories and the courage to pursue life in a way that engages what we value most. When we're in alignment, we create sustainability. And when we're not, we burn out. We revert to old ways that don't serve our growth, and we find ourselves in a season of fear, doubt, and uncertainty. Work isn't simply a way to make an ends meet. It's a way of leaving our imprint in the world, and we want to make it count. And if we simply just do our work and not take into consideration the story that fuels that work, it won't be sustainable. For the evolving conscious professional, gone are the days of chasing more titles, pay, and accolades as the marker of success. They're looking to create a life that is full of experiences that are authentic to their story. You have a story, been through some things, but nonetheless, the conviction of your desire to create an impact has fueled your hard work. You checked off all the boxes, went to college, or invested in a skill and got really good at that skill. Eventually, you landed many jobs. You always applied yourself and you did what you were supposed to, even when you wanted to quit. Your effort paid off and you started to climb the ladder. Your pay increased and you began to open the door to more options. You got your place to live, you traveled some, and experienced life for the first time outside of the hustle and bustle of the first few years of asserting your place in the world of work, perhaps as an intern or as the noob. It's not easy to get where you've gotten, and it's not over, but it is evolving. Your hard work is paying off, and you finally have some time to stop and think about the next strategic direction that you want to pursue with your work. You're looking at your finances and you're planning in the next few years or even the next decade. You feel that shift is happening in you and the question to experience the next season of life. Whether it means a career shift, a new opportunity, marriage, kids, another kid, a fur baby, starting a business, or just doing a side hustle. You've been so busy and dedicated to assuring that this part of your career runs smoothly that you haven't had the time to explore what lies ahead. There's only so many hours in the day, and after some hours here and there, you're just exhausted. A day turns into a week, then months, and before you know it, years. You understand, though, at this stage of your life that you have choices and you want to make them count and position yourself to be present during the best years of your life. Look, it's both daunting and exhilarating to think about what leadership could mean for us when we look at it beyond our current understanding and apply some of those strategies into our own personal lives. We may be tempted to romanticize the idea, and maybe it even sounds like we're choosing the high road at all times, like a monk who reaches a state of zen and just gets it right all the time. I don't know about you, but I've never seen a monk in downtown Atlanta traffic suffering from a bad hair day, projects that are overdue, with little time to spare. For the rest of us who experience life somewhere in the middle of the spectrum, where on one end you may have a Grinch who's always angry all the time and pessimistic, and that's not us. And on the other side, you have a monk, the perfectly perfect monk. That's not us either. We fall somewhere in the middle, imperfect yet striving to create a conscious impact. This journey is for you. No suit and tie required. No facades or formalities. Come as you are. We're human here. We create, we forge new paths, break cycles, and evolve our leadership beyond the title. It's important to remember that this journey of leadership is not always glamorous. It's tough, challenging, and messy. And when it is, and you're trying to navigate the complexities of success, there is a conscious space for you to explore your leadership. This journey is full of potential for growth, learning, and making a real difference in the world. Wherever you find yourself in the journey of creating a conscious impact, through your story, with all your failures and blessings, along the way, you have allowed us to share a piece of this journey with you. And for that, we're grateful. We have our shares of trials and tribulations, but we hope at the end of the rainbow, when you look back, that you find the treasures that were scattered throughout the journey and find the peace and clarity that made up the sometimes fragmented but now whole version of who we are and who we are becoming. I hope that you remember to dance like no one is watching, while our bones are healthy and our minds are capable. Remember, the universe conspires to make you amazing. I'm curious, what does leadership mean for you? To our listeners, the ball is in your court. I challenge you to take action, continue the conversations, and reach out to us online to share your adventure and any questions that you may have around the journey of leadership beyond the title. You are listening to Flipping the Script, Leadership Beyond the Title. We'll see you on our next episode. If you found even the smallest nugget of wisdom in this episode, share it with a friend and your friend will thank you.